Salutations, everyone. As you can see, child control is being done differently this morning. And that's because stupid people created a gas shortage. There is no gas shortage. Someone said it on the news, and everyone decided, I'm going to rush to the gas station and get as much gas as I possibly can.
Which has then caused all of the gas stations to run out of gas.
Mm-hmm. Gas stations will get gas, and within 2 hours, they are empty because people start lining up to get gas for a gas shortage that doesn't exist. But anyway, good morning, everyone. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, BC decided that he was going to come up here and join me on the show instead of going to his house. So everybody, welcome BC. Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on, guys? I'm BC. What's happening? It's your boy BC, aka Cocktail. What up?
REALJC BC.
Yep. But no, it's been a good TV week as far as like news and things to talk about. I know that that BC watched Inhumans on IMAX.
Yeah,
which was amazing to hear his thoughts on it.
They got a new app, Stardust, I believe is the name, where you give your thoughts on TV. You do mini reviews on it, and his was not good, and I kind of expected that.
Yeah. Why was it in IMAX? I don't understand.
They got to get money somehow. And when he told me it was $20, I'm looking at him like, you fool. He got you.
$20?
Yeah, it was $20 to go see.
I didn't know that. Oh my God. Why? That's awful.
I don't know.
That's a scam, man. That's Fox just trying to get whatever they can out of this because they know it's not going to last.
If from what he said and what I've seen, if this
this is ABC, not Fox, right?
Yeah.
My bad.
But if it goes further than 5 episodes, I'll be shocked. Unless something changes or whatever. But anyway,
you know, he told me that they shaved Medusa's head.
Huh?
He told me that they shaved Medusa's head, so that way they don't have to deal with all the CGI effects of her hair.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Sorry, spoilers.
Don't make no damn sense, but you know, whatever. I'm not the showrunner, so
no, not at all. God, right, screw that.
Let's get into the show. We missed a week, so we're going to touch on some of the things that we missed from that week. It's old, but we're still going to let you know about it because some people may not know. And let's start off with Stranger Things. Just going to be real quick. They have confirmed the season 3 for the show. And there may be a 4th. Chances are there will be. But the creators said after the 4th season, that's it. They're done. They're not doing any more shows. Now, we heard something like this a couple years ago in a show called Supernatural. They wrote 5 or 7 seasons, I believe. I think it was 5 seasons.
It was 5 seasons.
Yeah, and they said the creator said once he's finished with his 5 seasons, his story is done. And I expected the show to go off the air, but it did not. And now we are headed into our 13th season. So, what do you think about this news about Stranger Things?
I like it, to be honest. I don't think I just have a feeling that Netflix isn't going to be able to like wring any more out of it. I think this is going to be a deal where it's going to be 4 seasons and we're going to be done because you're dealing with child actors too. So they might want to move on and go do something else, you know, or they might have to like go do school. Maybe they can't, you know, adjust to that life properly. And I'm not talking about all of them, but maybe some of them. And then you look at the fact that a lot more shows are having that, I guess, that creative input. So the showrunners will be like, look, we don't want to go any longer than this amount. It doesn't matter how much money you put in front of us. We're going to go 4 seasons and then that's it for us. I mean, you look at Vince Gilligan, what he did with Breaking Bad, and when he did that, because he went 5 seasons with Breaking Bad, and AMC was like, no, we'll give you more money. We just want more Walter White. And Vince Gilligan said, no, I'm not going to do it. I might make a spinoff for you, but I'm not going to keep pushing Breaking Bad because I have a vision. This is where I want it to go, and that's where it's going to end. And it was amazing that it ended that way. Yeah. So I think it's going to be similar to that, and Netflix is going to want more, but it's going to be a deal where they're like, no, we're just going to end it here. We end it the way we want to. If you want more from us, we will make like a spin-off or something else. But as far as this story is concerned, we're done.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel also.
I mean, you look at what happened with, I mean, you made the point about Supernatural. I think that's different though, because Supernatural is CW, and CW is a network where shows never die. So Supernatural, that having like 13 seasons is very different than I think how Netflix is.
Moving on to our next show, the Xena reboot is a no-go at NBC. Well, it's actually the current incarnation that they were working on, where they were going to go into a more romance story between Xena and Gabrielle. It was supposed to be a heavy lesbian story.
Okay.
Between Xena and Gabrielle. I mean, they were going to do the same Xena show, but the romance between them, it wasn't going to be an underlying thing. They were going to go, yeah, they're in love and let's go.
Yeah.
And apparently people were not too keen on that or whatever. I have no idea. But
the whole idea of it seemed flawed to begin with, the fact that they were going to revive Xena. But I like the fact that they were going to try to capitalize on the one thing about Xena that it was like ahead of its time for, and that was an on-screen lesbian love interest. But as far as like needing Xena back, like honestly, out of all the shows that I would like back in my life, Xena and Hercules are not them. Not the ones. Like, they're good. I go back and I try to watch those shows now, and I'm like, oh, it's so painful. It's so hard to watch. It's like,
yeah, they are horrible. I mean, back in the day, I loved them, but
yes,
they are not a good rewatch.
I would not miss an episode. And then now that I'm older and I try to watch them, I'm like, why? Why did I ever try to watch this show? It's so bad.
I feel the same way about old Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Oh God, old Scooby-Doo, yeah.
I go back and watch them. I was like, was I the one doing drugs when I was a kid? What the hell?
And then, same thing with Lois and Clark. I loved Lois and Clark, and now I watch it now, and I'm like, oh God, it's so campy. It's so bad.
Like, why did I watch this again?
Freaking Dean Cain was my hero, and now I'm like, oh, Dean, why?
Okay. And the last show we're going to talk about from last week, that is Black Samurai.
Yeah, Black Samurai.
This was a book series in the 70s during the blaxploitation area, and it became a movie with Jim Kelly. And it's a guy, a black guy who he was trained by a samurai. He's an ex-military guy trained by a samurai because all his friends and family was dead and blah, blah. He's trained, and now he joins a secret organization, and he goes out and stops world crime or, super villains. Like kind of Austin Powers, but serious.
Yeah.
It's not a funny, campy thing. It's Austin Powers, but serious, and he's black. And if you head over to YouTube and just put in Black Samurai, Jim Kelly, you'll pull up some clips or a trailer. So campy. But now it's being redone. It's being modernized, and Common is going to be playing. I believe the guy's name is Joe Sand.
Interesting.
Who is going to be the Black Samurai?
That's actually a pretty good Stars.
Yeah, it's going to be on Stars. I don't know when it's coming out. When I heard Common, I was like, why him? Then I thought of John Wick, and I was like, okay, I can see why they would pick someone like him. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested. I want to see this one.
I'm intrigued by that. Like I didn't know much about it going into this, but talking about how they wanted it to be serious, not campy, and you cast a guy like Common. That's a great cast. And then you're gonna have it on Stars, and we've seen what they can do with their shows. And I think it's gonna be good. So I mean, anybody who's a Black Samurai fan, I think you just have to love and support this entire venture.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many Black Samurai fans there are out there that are at least under 50.
So zero. There's none.
Yeah, so I mean, he may get a whole new set of fans. People could go out and say, "Oh, these were books," and go read the books or whatever. But
I'll be honest. Whenever you said Black Samurai, my first thought, like when we were going over the show notes, you said Black Samurai, and my first thought was Black Dynamite, and I was like, "Oh snap! They're making a Black Dynamite show." And then I'm thinking, that's not correct. That's not right at all. My bad.
No, all Black people aren't the same.
I know this. I know this. Don't say that. I'm not married a Black woman. I don't think that they're all the same. Hell. But Black Dynamite.
You ever go to the mall and say, "Hey, honey," and just grab some random Black woman? Oh, sorry. I thought you were my wife.
Like a 300-pound lady. For those of you who don't know, my wife is like a buck nothing. So yeah.
Soaking wet. Brick.
Yes.
And speaking of Black women, we're going to move into this week's news, and we're going to start off with Misty Knight. There was a picture of from
Misty Knight.
No, his wife was not Misty Knight. They showed a picture from the upcoming Luke Cage season 2, and Misty has her cybernetic arm.
I ain't got no arm.
Loving it. It was awesome. Me and Jason talked many a time about how we wanted her to lose that arm in the first season.
I thought she was going to in the first season. They really hinted at it. Like when she's down there in that bunker and they're like, "Oh, you might lose your arm." I'm like, here it goes.
Here it goes. Yeah, here it goes. They're going to end this off with her with a metallic arm. But no, they didn't. They kept it going until Defenders 2, where they took that goddamn arm off.
Mm-hmm. There was no buts about it. No, sir. That thing is gone.
So, what do you think about the look for her arm?
I liked it. I thought it looked cool. It's going to be interesting what it can do. If they're gonna have like a cocktail. If they're gonna have a moment where like maybe she tries to punch and Luke Cage catches it or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe Luke takes a punch from her. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works with her having a cybernetic arm. I heard BC was saying that he hopes that it says like Stark on the side. Like
Stark on the side, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. That'd be cool with me. But I think it's going to be interesting. Just having her have like some sort of power. I'm curious though more about how it's going to be like her mental, like how it's going to affect her mentally. You know, like is she going to have that like phantom pain? Is it going to be like uncomfortable? Is just that going to be an issue for her? Is she going to be able to still be a cop with a cybernetic arm? Because now we're starting to get into RoboCop. Like, what all is going to happen with this?
Yeah, and the other thing is, if she's going to stop being a cop, they're going to start working on the angle of her hanging out, her being with Colleen Wing, and started their detective for hire agency or whatever. Or, you know, the Sisters of the Dragon, what they did in the comic book. So. I mean, I like the look of it. It's not, you know, all metallic. It looks like a regular prosthetic arm.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, we'll see what happens with that and what goes on. And
it's kind of interesting because I'm curious. Oh, sorry, I'm curious about what's going to happen too, about how they're going to really introduce her relationship with Colleen. Because in Defenders, we saw it a little bit, but not that much. It was just more of they were in like, I don't know, the break room talking for just a sec.
Yeah, but they just have to be together.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Is it going to be a deal where it's like, well, you got Luke and the Iron Fist having their little bond together? Is it going to be the same thing? Or maybe Colleen and the other and Misty are like, oh, well, maybe we should do something. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how that even forms.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, we'll see. I don't know when they're going to start doing it. If they're going to wait till another Defenders, which would be way too long. They should start working on a relationship between them in the Iron Fist and Luke Cage series. But again, I don't know, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that multiple Defenders have been in, like, I guess, one person standalone series. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be hard for them to introduce, like, I don't know, the was it the Mercs for Hire or something like that? I can't remember what it's called right now. Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if they introduced Heroes for Hire in Luke Cage.
And I believe they should.
They should.
Yeah.
Not wait till Iron Fist season 2. Do it.
Yeah, they should even do Iron Fist season 2. Then once they do Luke Cage, they should just blend them together and do Heroes for Hire from there on out.
Yep.
If they, however long they decide they're going to keep doing this thing.
Because I don't know why you even need to do an Iron Fist season 2, except for the fact that I guess you got to deal with that one woman, and I guess that guy from Kunlun who hates Danny now. I guess it's like the only reason, and maybe because Gal didn't die, Gal disappeared, so I guess Gal would be your main enemy. I don't know. I guess that's the only reason to do an Iron Fist season 2.
Yeah, Gal doesn't seem to kind of be going after a conflict like that. I mean, she'll get involved, but she doesn't seem to be a villain in that sense. So, I mean, she's a bad person, but whatever.
I still don't understand her motivations though, because
she just wants to live forever, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she wants to live forever and sell drugs. Like that's the only thing I'm getting from her. Like, I want to make people blind, sell drugs, and live forever. Like,
and hang out and check in a box all day long. Get 2 tacos for 99 cents.
What?
It's the stoner special, man.
That's true. Drugs. You're right. You're right.
You just sell weed for the rest of the
late
night.
Night munchie meal. God, Jack in the Box just caters to potheads. It's so funny.
It does.
Have you seriously? You look at that late night munchie meal, and it's like we put like curly fries inside the burger, and then we also topped it off with more cheese. I'm like, only a pothead eats that. Only a pothead. You like Fritos? And Doritos, we put them in a burger, bro, and then we grilled it.
You look at the commercial, and the guys that they're talking to, and they're just like, dude. Yeah.
Yes. I loved whenever they had Jack as the puppet.
As a puppet, yes. Yeah. And he flew off.
He's just like, yeah. What's up, bro?
High.
Super high.
Okay, so we're getting sidetracked here. Back to TV and Marvel and so on, and we had a promo for the Punisher, and they gave us the titles for all 13 episodes in Morse code.
Like that, I guess.
We had a friend here, Ben Ambroso. I don't know if anyone watching this knows him, but he said a while back that the show was coming out on Veterans Day. And I was like,
really?
I don't know, whatever, blah, blah. But when I looked at it also, okay, Veterans Day is a Saturday. The 11th is a Saturday. It's going to be observed on the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
The 10th of November. They already said it's coming out in November. But the 10th of November is also the Marine Corps birthday.
Oh, that would be a good time to do that.
Yep, so the 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, and Veterans Day is also observed on that day, and Punisher is a Marine, and it's coming out in November. When I looked at that, I was like, you know what? Ben may be 100% correct that the Punisher will come out on that day.
Yeah, I agree. That it has to. That would be they would miss out on an opportunity.
Yeah, that's marketing right there that just writes itself, man.
Yeah. Well, then they're mostly done, right? Like they've been working on this for a while now.
Yeah, they are done. If anything, right now it's minor editing. I don't think that I haven't heard anything about reshoots, anything like that. So yeah, they're either done or they're very close to just finishing up everything. So
yeah.
And the promo that we saw at the end of the Defenders, little tidbit.
Him with the sledgehammer, like
he's talking, and as he's talking, the narration of the thing, you just see him murdering people.
Yeah.
So
just straight up. And it's so nice.
Punisher's going to have a body count from hell, man.
It so is. Like the moment like you saw him with the gun, and he's just killing people. It's like pop, pop. You see the blood splatter. I was like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. So many henchmen are gonna die. Yay!
Okay. Now let's move on to some good shit right here.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
So good.
That finale. Now, okay. People have been saying that the writing for this has been horrible. It sucked. It's so on. I mean, I haven't read the stories. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I don't need to read this shit. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So
I think it's mostly just the fact that a lot of people were upset because of the fact that they just kept jumping and there wasn't any traveling. It was just you're suddenly there. And I just don't think people understand that they didn't have time to really get into it. And then with all of their money going to dragons, like you gotta cut something somewhere. So the writing had to be cut, I guess, a little bit because you didn't have as many scenes with people together. And whenever you did, it was freaking amazing. But you mostly had to deal with a war. And I don't think next season's gonna be any different.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you say that it was a bad like writing season whenever we had twists and turns all around and like you didn't even see what was going to happen in Winterfell until the last moment?
Exactly. See, I don't know what people are wanting, what they expect. I mean, George R.R. Martin stopped writing the books. How are you going to write the shit for him?
He's still working on it. He's just takes a long time.
So Danny and John.
We knew it was gonna happen. We knew. We've been talking about this. We've been saying from the beginning, like that's his aunt. Like, don't do it, bro. And he did it. But you know what's funny is like this is the only show that everybody's like, yay, incest. You know, like. You saw it like in the beginning of the series where you saw Jaime and Cersei get together and you're like, ew, that's disgusting. And they have 3 children. That's nasty. And then you see these two, an aunt and her nephew get together and you're like, yeah, let's do it. And you're like, yay. It's still really weird.
You know, I don't think people cared
about
it's either that they didn't care or a lot of people just didn't know
that they were aunt and nephew.
Yeah, that they were really somehow related. They're just like, I don't care, banger.
Yeah.
Both
y'all want to see 2 beautiful people get together.
It's like, yay, yay, yay. Okay, the episode before when the dragon was killed, and they raised that dragon, and then I was like, even though they rose the dragon, I'm still okay. This is a big ass wall. How are they getting through it? Dragon shows up. Oh, that's how they're getting through. All right. He made quick work of this fucking wall.
Oh yeah, he did. But it makes sense because, and a buddy of mine asked me. He was like, I don't understand. How is it that all the wards that the children of the forest put on the wall didn't stop them from getting across? And I think it's because you blasted magic with magic, and it's a dragon, so it makes sense why the wards would suddenly just be destroyed and like these undead would be able to get through the wall. But I knew this was the part where I tweeted out, like I knew this was going to happen, that the wall was going to come down. I've been saying it for months because you don't say, oh, the war has been around for thousands of years without that wall coming down at some point. And sure enough, that wall came down. But you look at how they did it, and you realize that Jon Snow is an idiot. Because if they never went across the wall, and they never even like brought the dragons, or I guess let's just say they never went across the wall to go get the undead. Mm-hmm. The White Walkers would never have crossed the wall because they wouldn't have had a dragon to help them bring the wall down. They would have probably just been at the wall and then just tried to shoot things at the Night's Watch and did nothing, like wouldn't be able to do anything. Or maybe at least like the undead would run up to the wall and, I don't know, shatter. I have no idea what would happen. But now he basically hand-delivered them a dragon, and now you have the army of the dead coming down. If he never does that, all we would be worrying about would be Cersei versus Daenerys, and then you still got, Jon being the actual rightful king of it all.
Yeah, I guess we would.
So dumb.
He made a lot of stupid decisions from forever. But here's the other thing. Okay, yeah, the time passage or whatever, people getting from here to here, and it just boom, whatever. These White Walkers have been walking forever.
Forever and a day.
I mean, like the first season, they don't know where the wall is.
Right? I mean, I think what they needed to do, though, was get, like, the undead bears, because those things are freaking terrifying. And so they were probably walking around being like, all right, we're going to need to kill, like, 14 bears, and then we're going to need to raise them and make sure they're decomposed, because that's scary as all hell.
No, my theory is the Night King is actually Moses, and he had them lost out there in the winterland, the winter wastelands for 40 goddamn years. It's just Moses, which way should we go? This way. We went that way. Go this way.
I don't know why I always picture Moses as like an old Jewish man who's just like, Moses, where are we going? I don't know where we're going. You gotta go over there. Let's just go that way. You don't want to ask for directions, Moses? Why do I need to ask for directions? I know where I'm going. You followed the North Star. How do you know that's the North Star? Did you take astronomy? Why are you on this? Why you keep asking me? Go just have some kafilka fish, all right? I'll find the way to go.
Okay.
Yep, sorry. Get into that tangent.
Because we might have made somebody really mad at this.
People think I'm Jewish, so it's cool, I guess.
Mail to Matt.
Cocktail, answer the hate mail. Hate mail? Who hate me?
There was a series I was going to talk about, but I can't because I didn't read the story.
Oh, no.
It's the Kat Dennings, John Cena to voice characters at the show Dallas and Robo for YouTube Red.
I mean, I guess that's cool and all that YouTube Red is getting shows.
I mean, it's going to be an animated series. John Cena, he's funny. He's got presence. Kat Dennings is Kat Dennings, and
but are people going to watch a show with Kat Denning if you can't see Kat Denning?
Fans are. The true fans of Kat Dennings is going to watch the show.
True fans are just going to close their eyes and be like, "Yeah, that's Kat Denning."
So yeah, that's a. Go ahead, girl.
Picturing her from like Two Broke Girls.
Or while you're watching YouTube, you have a picture of her stuck up on the side of the TV. So
that's a true Kat Denning fan. That right there.
Okay, so we had a really bad movie come out last week. A movie by the name of Deathnote.
Oh God. Oh, I forgot that I think I mentally blocked that you were going to talk about it. Oh.
Okay, I had not watched Deathnote, the anime, at all. But when I heard about the movie coming out, hopped on the Netflix, loaded up the Deathnote, started watching it. And the series is awesome up to like episode 26, 27, whatever it is, the end of the first season, I believe it is. Once you get to that point, everything after that, when they bring in the other detective Nair, it's bullshit. They're just prolonging the story. They're doing what anime does, where they have an end. They get to a certain point, it should be done and over with, and then they keep going. And it's
they keep pushing it.
Stop. So yeah, Death Note was awesome. The anime up until episode 26, and everything after that. If you haven't watched it, you can stop at 26. If you want to keep going, go for it. But I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Now, this movie, Death Note, son of a bitch. Did you watch it? Or did you
I honestly, I refused to watch it. Like, I watched like the first portion of it, and then I just kind of turned it off because, yeah, I've watched a little bit of Death Note, the series. At first, it was kind of hard for me to get into, so I kind of got on and off about it. But the way that they introduce, well, they show Light, meaning, and I can't remember what the demon's name is called, but whenever they, whenever he meets it for the first time. I remember in the anime, he was very like calm. He was like, "Whoa, okay, interesting." Like,
he was startled at first.
Yeah, he was startled at first, but he was still just kind of like, "All right." He was collected. You know, it was weird, but at the same time, he's like, "I can adjust to this. It's fine. All right. What do you want? Let's do this. Let's become partners." And then I saw that in the Netflix movie, this dude is just like, oh my God, what are you? I don't know. And I'm like, bro, chill out, okay? Like, it's cool. You're supposed to be like really chill. Like, why are you being like this? Like, so as soon as I saw that, I just turned it off. I'm like, this isn't going to be any good.
I mean, now, yeah, okay, that was great in the anime where he was. I mean, at first he fell over, he was startled, but then he says, "Oh, so you're a Shinigami," and yeah, you know what? I've been expecting you, and then they go into their story.
Yeah,
where I would tell you now, if I touched the book and just sort of found the shells, and then this huge 9-foot tall thing popped up in the room with me, I'd probably scream too.
Yes, but you aren't Light. Light is a very different person.
Yeah.
Like, he's basically...
They made Light very normal in this one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the problem. He shouldn't be normal because Light is not normal.
Yeah, Light was... Okay, in the anime, Light is a genius.
Yes.
He figures out things about the book that Ryuk didn't even know. And he was like, Rick's like, "Huh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you're a good human. I like you. Write some more names in the book." This kid was just like, he was an idiot.
Yeah.
In the movie, this Light was a dummy. They tried to redeem him later on by saying he shouldn't write things in the book on this day because it would lead back to him and so on. But overall, he was not very smart. The girl playing,
I'm pretty sure like Mia, that's why that turned a lot of people off to begin with, was the fact that Light himself was not Light.
The girl Misa from the anime, she acted more like Light later on in the movie than Light ever did in the movie. She was the one that was like, "We've got to take out these guys. She was the one that wanted to take out the police.
So like, why didn't they? They should have just made Mia the one that handled the book instead of Light.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah. But I mean, this movie was based on Death Note. This was not Death Note. Even L started out great in the beginning. By the end, he was an emotional mess. And in the anime, I think there was only one time that that L actually let emotion take over, but he stopped that quickly. He didn't think off of emotion. He didn't do things emotionally. Everything for him was logic. By the end of this movie, he pissed off. He wanted revenge. He's angry, crying. He gets his hands on the book, and you don't know if he starts killing people also. It's just, what the hell is going on? So, yeah.
And this guy, the guy who directed it, is supposed to handle Godzilla.
Really?
Yeah, he's handling Godzilla versus King Kong.
Maybe he'll do better with that one. I don't know. All you gotta do,
bigger budget.
Yeah, all you gotta do is put two monsters together and fight. You don't have 30-something episodes of story that you have to turn into an hour-and-a-half.
That's true. That's true. So, I'm sure he'll do a lot better with this.
Yeah. That's it for the news. That's sorry, I ended. I should have ended with Game of Thrones.
You should have ended with Game of Thrones
because this Death Note one just brought me the fuck down. All right, channel surfing.
Yes, we still don't have a slate for this, do we? We need like a white.
No, we don't. We don't have one for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to go to the beach and just film the waves and some seagulls and just put channel surfing on the screen.
Yeah, you should do that.
So
the one beach we have in Dallas
that we said 2 weeks ago we were going to talk about. We're going to start off with Rick and Morty.
I'm glad you finally finished this. Glad you finally have caught up, because remember 2 weeks ago we said that you had homework, and the homework was to watch all of Rick and Morty, and we'll talk about the next homework in just a second. But yeah, so you've now watched all of Rick and Morty. Let me hear your thoughts.
Season 1 of Rick and Morty, I felt the same way about it that I did with Stranger Things. Stranger Things I didn't like until episode 5. It was just eh. And Rick and Morty, up until about episode 6 or 7, to me was pretty much the same. I was like, whatever. I barely laughed at any of the jokes. Yeah. But I think I was also being very resistant also. But by the time it got to episode 6 or 7, I realized that all the stuff that they were doing the first 5 episodes, that was build up.
Yeah.
So by that time, they started going through all that, and they're hitting things that happened before. So I'm like, oh, okay. By season 2, I was in love with Rick and Morty.
It's so good.
Show was awesome. I kept. I asked you about I watched the 3rd season. I'm watching that now on Adult Swim, but I kept asking about what the hell is this Pickle Rick bullshit?
Yeah.
This was before I even started anything, and you just said, just watch it. Pickle Rick is so stupid. I'm Pickle Rick. It's dumb. And all you said was, just watch it.
Yep.
After I watched it, oh my God, I'm like, I'm walking around Karen's apartment going, I'm Pickle Rick.
No, it's so stupid, but it's so funny. It's so great. I love how like they'll just introduce random people in like random random episodes, like Jaguar. Like, okay, suddenly we have Jaguar. That's awesome.
a Mexican agent who.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's so many great episodes. There's the one where they have to like. It's like different, the universes, so you think you can dance, or like, I guess American Idol or something like that. Like, show us what you got.
The big head, show us what you got.
Yeah, there's that, and then
the one planet where they tried to talk their way out of it. Look, we're a civilized community, blah, blah. So they give this whole speech, and like, disqualified, and blew up their planet.
Yep. Ice Cube was not Ice Cube. Ice-T was like an icicle planet guy, like part of like this alphabet from the universe.
He was a prince of that planet.
Yeah. I love what were other ones? You've got that one. There's the one where Rick's spaceship wouldn't work, and so he had to go inside the little universe that was supposed to be generating.
Yes. Power. And they had developed the same technology that he did, and made another smaller universe to give them power. And
then Summer is meanwhile trying to like stave off the police.
Yeah, they're trying to get in her car, and before they left, Rick told the car, protect Summer. So anyone who got near the car got killed.
Yep. And it was like, no, do not use lethal force. So this guy, the ship reincarnates the kid of this one police officer that the kid had died. It's like, Daddy is like, oh God. It's so messed up. It's so good.
And one of the recent episodes, this is a season 3 one, I believe, where they went to a spa to have the toxins removed from their body.
This is the latest episode.
And the toxins actually it goes into like this other dimension where the toxins are living on as Rick and Morty. they look like kind of melted wax figures or whatever. Their faces kind of
they were
droopy.
supposed to be dying in there.
Yeah,
they were supposed to be melted in that space.
But the toxic elements was removed from their body. So Rick and Morty are actually like really decent guys now. I mean, Rick was not drinking. He's actually thinking about doing a whole bunch of things. The Morty
is confident,
became confident, became popular, and all this stuff. And you see the two toxic elements trying to escape, find Rick and Morty, and kill them and take their place. You come to find out that the toxic elements, that's the good Rick and Morty. The Rick and Morty who are out there are the evil ones because they have no conscience whatsoever each.
Yep.
They will do whatever they can to get ahead. Rick no longer cared about Morty. He's like, go ahead, kill him. I don't care. I don't care about that kid. I was like, holy shit. Make them toxic again.
But I liked confident Morty because he was just like that Wolf of Wall Street kind of guy. Yeah. And it was so great. It's like
girlfriend and everything. The girl he was chasing did her. Was like, you know what? This is gonna work out. You're not my type.
Yeah, and I still love that other girl too. Like the other girl that got locked in the toxic environment. Yeah. She's like, Morty, I'd do anything for you, Morty.
It's like, is this a sex dungeon? No one said anything about a sex dungeon.
Oh, that show is great. I love it so much.
The one thing I realized while watching season 2 is that Rick is Kang the Conqueror from Marvel Comics.
See, you said that, and I honestly don't know what that is.
Kang is a guy who he has a council hidden in between time where a bunch of Kangs just gather together there, and his thing is all time travel. Rick is dimensions. So Rick has his own dimensional fortress, or had, that they would just congregate, and there was just all these Ricks and their Mortys. But of course, the Rick that we know now doesn't like all the other Kangs, so he went there and just destroyed the fortress, messed up the entire Galactic Federation. Yeah.
I still love your reaction to finding out that Rick and Morty of that Earth were actually dead.
Yes. And the thing is, I watched it happen, but I was like, yeah, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, they blew themselves up and they just walk in. Okay. Yeah. But I thought again, I wasn't really paying too much attention. I thought they went back and whatever. No, they took over that life. They left their own world to get destroyed, which they went back to in the next season. Yep. I mean, yeah, this show is great. I'm sorry I missed out so much. I'm glad that it was only a couple episodes for each season, and I was able to catch up so quickly.
Oh, and they're 30 minutes, so
they're 30 minutes long. So yeah, you can. I mean, it took me like a week to get through everything. But yeah, if you have a day where you're doing nothing, 10 hours, you can get through this whole series.
Oh yeah, it's no problem at all.
So,
and speaking of another show that you can get through pretty quickly if you haven't already gotten through, was part 2 of Rob's homework, Wrecked.
Wrecked is so good.
It's so good.
I told someone else about it, and they were like, what's the show about? And I said, think Lost, but extremely funny.
Yes.
And that's basically what it is. And I mean, I like Lost for the first 3 seasons. This one is just wonderful.
It's so much better than Lost.
I love me some Florence.
Florence is great. I didn't like her at first. In the first season, I wasn't a fan of her. She seemed just kind of annoying. And I think whenever they got rid of her friend, like that seemed to open her up a little bit more, and it made her a lot better. And in season 2, they highlighted her a lot. And
yes, she
was awesome.
Now, the thing is, when the show started out, they seemed to focus on Peter a lot. He's kind of like a bearded Kevin James. He reminded me a lot of Kevin James.
I could see that. Because you had like in the first season, you had him dealing with his daddy issues, and pretty much like him trying to be a cop, but he was fake. He was a fake cop. Yeah, he just found a gun, so he's like, "Yeah, I'm a cop," but he's not a cop.
Yeah, it's him just trying to. It was almost like him trying to acclimatize himself to being on this island and trying to be a leader. And I mean, it was still funny, but they were focusing on one person. Like I told you, it reminded me of Orange is the New Black, where they focused on one character for the whole first season. Yeah, actually, the first 2 seasons.
Well, it seemed like the first season they were going from Peter to the flight attendant, the steward. Owen. Yeah, they were kind of like transferring it over to Owen, like as the season progressed.
Yeah, by the end of the season, they were starting to get into other people's stories. But the second season is where they opened up everyone. There was a huge group of people that they would focus on. They would do minor stuff with them in the first season, but in the second season, they had major roles.
Yep.
They fleshed out the characters a lot more. They made them so funny. The guy Todd, who I honestly hated and wanted him dead in the first season. I was so glad he was there in the second season.
He was one of the best parts of the second season. Dude, okay, so the part where he finds out, like, he's so mad at that, I can't remember the long-haired guy's name, where he's so mad at that hippie for, like, sleeping with his girlfriend, and then he finds out that he actually slept with his girlfriend in Scottsdale, and he's like, oh, my bad, nope, we're good, don't worry about it. No, he's like, wait, you're from the Dale?
But the thing is, he found out that the girl that he was sleeping with was black, I think it was. Yeah. So it was like, this conference just has a whole bunch of cheating going on.
It was so great. Yeah, and then I love how Todd is the only one that knows about the Red Hot Chili Peppers cruise.
Yeah.
He's like,
it was like, God, who would pay for this? Oh my God! Yeah,
Todd would pay for this. What's the other one? The other
when they got in this ship and only half of the survivors could get clean, and the others stayed dirty, and they kind of separate themselves. Like, we're going to eat upstairs because you guys stink. They took all the silverware.
He had like a British accent for some reason.
They all did. They all got bougie, and just they looked down on everyone else. Even the Asian girl, Todd's girlfriend, fiance, she was like, "Oh."
Oh, and then when they were talking about Game of Thrones, and they wanted to know about Game of Thrones, and he's like, "Bro, Game of Thrones is gay. I want to know about Ballers." He's like, "Yeah, even my girl watches Ballers." She's like, "Oh yeah. Ballers is so great," and then they realize later, or like they reveal it later, that she's actually been watching Game of Thrones behind him, and she's like, "Yeah, I mean, Ballers is actually really terrible." What?
Oh God, yeah. So Wrecked, Rick and Morty, and Wrecked. If you haven't watched them, you need to. I mean, if you like animated shows,
oh my God, where's my bra?
You need to watch them. Where's my pants? Where'd my pants go?
How'd you lose your pants?
I don't know. They were on me just a second ago.
I still love that they made the main villain an extra. Like the main villain of the second season was an extra.
Yeah.
Like I freaking love that. And then Jermaine Clement in the end, being Steve's buddy, and he's just like, "Hi. I bet you look pretty cool saving my life." It's like, yeah, I think it did. Just that whole dynamic was so weird, but it was so great.
Steve was another one who went dark real quick.
He did.
He was basically just a simple guy just going on vacation, and when they had to vote to have a leader on the island, they voted him in, and he didn't even want it, but he won. And then he was like, "Throw him in the pit. do this, do that. You do what I say. He killed somebody.
He killed a man, and then they found out that he was a Nazi, and so he's like, I'm a hero. I killed a Nazi. But they wouldn't take it until they needed to like have him sway over his vote to like be with the group again. He's like, you're not a murderer. You're a hero. A Nazi killer. Oh, it's such a great show. You guys have to check it out.
Yeah, the show's truly awesome. And my last show is The Tick.
That one I have not watched yet, but my buddy was telling me that it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's 6 episodes. And honestly, to me, but you have to understand, I went through Rick and Morty and Wrecked in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So after watching those 2 shows and going to The Tick, which really is not as funny, I did not enjoy it.
Oh man, that's disappointing to hear.
Now, that's just because I had those two shows had me on a high.
Yeah.
So when I went into The Tick, I mean, it's okay, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Maybe I need to watch it again to get it. But yeah, like I said, after watching Rick and Morty and Wrecked, and I'm just like laughing at everything, and I'm expecting, okay, The Tick's gonna be great because I remember the old series. I went to that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, so that was a series. I mean, it had its moments, but eh.
Yeah. Well, I haven't watched it yet, but it's one I need to get into. I'd like to hear or find out why you think it's not as good, and maybe see from like a different perspective if maybe like it's not because you've been binging or what have you. So I'll definitely check that out and find out more about it. But that is disappointing to hear that in general it just wasn't as good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have to watch. Like I said, I will have to watch it again. It's 6 episodes, I believe, half an hour each, so you can get through that like that in a freaking day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I honestly really wasn't impressed. But again, bear with me. We'll have to watch it again, and we can talk about it next week.
Sure thing. So for me, I guess I'll take the baton now. The only show I will have to talk about this week is The Ozark. We talked about it a little bit 2 weeks ago. We just kind of briefly mentioned what it was about. And so I hadn't watched it yet, but I really wanted to get into it and find out a little bit more about it. And yeah, that show is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, so it basically starts out with Jason Bateman being an accountant. And it turns into that he's actually a money launderer for like this really bad drug dealer of sorts. I don't know exactly what he does. So in order to not get killed, he tells him, I can like quadruple your money by going over to the Ozark and taking all of their money and then money laundering it, and then you'll be fine and we'll be all good. And it turns out to just be a ploy or like a survival tactic, because he goes to the Ozark and he is not having any success. But meanwhile, you've got like his wife's cheating on him and like all these other things are happening, and the kids are having to adjust to being in a life no longer in Chicago, but being in like Missouri. And they're not taking it well. But what's really cool about this show is that there's so many great characters. Like the character work on this show is fantastic, and especially in the actress category, because there's this one, I can't remember her name right now, but this one girl from the Ozark that ends up being a partner to Jason Bateman's character, who she just like runs the show. And she's really good. And she can't be more than like 13 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
She's really good in this show. So it's really interesting, and it's cool to see the dynamic of all these characters and how they try to survive and make money. So yeah, it's definitely one to check out. It's already been renewed for a second season on Netflix, which after seeing it, not surprised one bit.
Okay, so you think this one's going to be getting nominated for something later on, like
Oh, I could totally see like Golden Globe or Emmy or something. I could see it getting nominated. Maybe not so much Jason Bateman getting nominated, because essentially it's just Jason Bateman playing Jason Bateman in another weird Jason Bateman thing.
Yeah, we talked about that. He does the same character every time.
He does exact same character every time. But the other characters in there deserve at least a nod.
All right.
Like Laura Linney's in it, which I was shocked to find Lori Linney in it, but she's really good in it. You don't know who Laura Linney is, do you?
I vaguely remember who it is.
The moment you see her, you'll be like, "Oh, cool! All right,
I know her. Yeah, I know her. I slept with her once."
No, wait,
no.
You do see her a couple times, getting busy. So there's.
I'm actually looking her up right now, and yes, I know her. Yes,
see, there you go. The moment you see her, you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I know who Laura Linney is."
Yeah, I'm looking at what she was in. I'm seeing The Truman Show, Mystic River,
Love Actually.
Never saw Love Actually.
Oh, Love Actually is so good.
But yeah, I see her face. I know who she is. I've seen her before. So
yeah. So that would be my show to check out.
Okay, well, that is it.
That was a good episode. Solid.
I've got nothing else because I'm
ran out of gas.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing the DVD separately and putting it up a day after on Tuesdays. So there will be no more DVD releases of the week during this show.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's something else to watch. Something else to look out for.
Yeah, and I honestly did not look at the canceled, renewed. Well, I did look at the canceled. I don't think anything was canceled. I do know that some shows were renewed. Of Friends from College, but that was like weeks ago that they said it was renewed, and it was something else.
That's surprising either.
Yeah, there was something else renewed, but I can't remember what it is. So,
all right, no worries.
Apparently, it wasn't that important.
So, I do have a question to ask you before we sign off. Have you been training? Because I saw like a picture of you training for September 22nd.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw the demo.
Hey, I don't got to train. You do some light work. I'm just letting you win right now. I'm just letting y'all go ahead and play little games, and you and BC can go back and forth with your little yeah. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna take that belt, whatever. When I decide I'm finished, I'm done with all this fucking talking from y'all. I'm gonna just step right in and take my belt. All right.
Okay.
So you know what? All right. I don't need to practice, son.
That's fine. I look forward to seeing how you do on September 22nd.
Get your practice in.
Oh, I did. I practiced last night, actually, because I had not played GoldenEye in several years. And I went to Nirvana because it's the only place I knew that had GoldenEye. And I sat down and I trained. And that game is so hard. Like when you first start playing it after not playing it for several years, it's really hard. For the graphics, for one, are god awful, and then the controls are just wonky as hell. So I had to like change how I played the game, and so it's going to be interesting to see how it happens on September 22nd.
But isn't it just a shooter, a first-person shooter?
It's a first-person shooter, but how you play it, like nowadays, like it's inverted controls. So how you normally play, where you can like look upward with the joystick, you look up. If you're playing GoldenEye, if you look up, you look down, and there's no way to change that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
So the aim is horrible because like I tried to get the reticle up and like try to do a headshot, and I immediately look down. So it's really annoying.
Well, you know what you can do if you need more practice? I'll hop on with you in Destiny. You invert your controls.
I don't want to invert my controls. I like my controls on Destiny.
Yeah, but you're getting used to. You're trying to get used to GoldenEye.
That is true. That is true.
So you invert your controls on Destiny and play the game that way, and hopefully it'll help you out.
Hey, well, you know what's another thing about GoldenEye 2 is that you find out that pretty quickly that every single map is a frickin' maze. Like, I know which one BC is going to want to do. It's complex. It's the classic one that everybody has played.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing is a freaking maze. And I'm like, please don't pick this one because you're just running around and you'll find a dead end and then they'll trap you and you can't find a gun. And it's the most annoying thing ever. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes down on September 22nd. We're going to use power weapons. We did find out that last night. We're using power weapons. So it's not going to be bombs or anything. No rockets. It's just try to shoot up your guy in 10 minutes. But I went into it kind of confident because I was like, oh, yeah, I've played GoldenEye before. And then I played it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need more work. I need a lot of work. For 3 weeks, I'm just going to play nothing but freaking GoldenEye.
That's how I felt when I told you guys about SSX.
Yes.
I used to play the shit out of SSX back in the day. And, I mean, back in the day when I was snowboarding and stuff.
Yeah.
So I played that game for hours every day, and I had the latest SSX for PS3. I popped that in there, and I was like, I am god awful. I'm falling off cliffs. I'm hitting all kinds. I'm like, oh my god. If I was to actually play this against these people, I would get beaten. So yeah,
I love how you texted me after I won the #1 contendership. You were like, "Hey Matt, you better get ready to play SSX." And I'm pretty sure that BC took offense to that because he was like, "What, bro?"
That's exactly why I said it.
Because he's doing anything possible to not lose that championship because he believes the moment he does, he's not getting it back anytime soon.
He ain't.
Nope. So I gotta win it. I'm looking forward to winning it on September 22nd at MVC, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dawn of GoldenEye.
Yeah, we kept talking about GoldenEye, but the new highlight game of this championship is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is okay. I did actually play it.
I know you did.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows he did. But the game is awesome, and
nice.
Captain Marvel, holy shit!
Really good.
Captain Marvel and Rocket are the two characters. I mean, they give you characters to play. You can't pick whoever. They just give you a certain story to go through, and you go through that and blah blah. But Captain Marvel and Rocket are two characters that are like, wow, yeah, I like these two.
Nice.
So I can't wait for the 22nd to come up and play these games and see how it goes, and to have Ashley call me daddy again.
Well, the seeding is going to be released next week, so keep an eye out for the big release. It's going to be on the Cinelinx UGF and the Cinelinx website as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching our weird Google Hangouts on air.
Yeah.
Whatever thing that. Yeah. It's what we had to do.
It was cool. Yeah, it was dope.
We got to do the show, and Matt didn't have to waste any gas to drive like 20-something miles down here.
Yeah, but it's like 30 or 40 minutes to drive down there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Super Cool Nerd Show every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. Stars Matt, BC, Jason.
When I show up.
Cora.
It's not my birthday.
It's not your birthday. Yeah, when you decide to show up. Yeah, and if we finally found a way to have Matt show up to this show without him leaving his home, son of a bitch.
Hey, if you guys want to do the internet stuff, feed me in. That's cool. I'm in it. I don't have to drive. That's cool. I'll be on whatever you want.
Anyway, Super Cool Nerd Show, what I was talking about, every Thursdays. Awesome show. You got to watch it. We do stuff and talk about the TV and the movies and who is being blacklisted as whitewashing Hollywood.
Colin Kaepernick. Wait, what?
Everyone is.
Yeah, everybody is.
We have a UGF.
That's right. Next one's going to be on September 22nd. You can go to Twitter and follow at CinemalinksUGF. And then anything on Cinelinks.com, that's where we post all of our biggest news stories up as well. And coming up also next week, we're going to be starting to post little featurettes so you guys can get to know a lot of the players and the contestants and what they're really like and how they feel about the upcoming tournament. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be on Cinelinks YouTube and on the Cinelinks UGF Twitter. And you can also watch the previous episode on youtube.com/Cinelinks, on twitch.tv/Cinelinks, on mixer.com/Cinelinks, and Facebook Live for the Cinelinks.
That's a lot of stuff to be watching. God damn.
That's a lot of places. So we want to make sure that you have everywhere you, like, no matter where you go, you can watch this show.
All right.
Yeah.
I've even started doing some gaming online.
Yeah, you have.
Myself, I was playing that game Until Dawn last night.
Yeah.
There were at least 5 parts in that thing that I jumped. Shit happened. I was like, and I normally play without any microphone or anything like that because I just can't do the talking while I'm playing. That's just not me. I probably should try, but you know, some people can do it, some people can't. But if I was talking, you would have heard some very loud, "Oh shit! What? Son of a bitch!"
Yep, I can imagine. Like I hate playing horror games in the dark. I remember playing it Resident Evil, the first one, in the dark, and I was like, nope, never doing this ever again. This is stupid.
I don't do that. Lights are on.
Yep.
You want to play this game? Lights are on. Lights go off. Yeah. I'm going to sleep. Fuck yeah. So yeah. Again, thanks for watching the show. See you next week. Maybe. Hopefully. Probably.
Yes, you will see us next week.
All right.
Oh, are you talking to me? I thought you were talking with the audience. Yes, we will see you next week.
Talking to everybody, the audience and you.
Yes.
The audience already said that they'll be back next week.
Sure, I'll be back next week.
To give me my.
It's not my birthday.
My 15 views.
6 of them from Ireland. You know.
6 from Ireland. Actually,
correct.
I'm getting them from Australia and Canada.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Aussies and Canadians.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Don't say that. You just lost one.
No, just lost. Sorry. Anyway, thanks. See you next week, and bye-bye.
Bye.